Hello, guys. How are you? I hope you had a restful Easter break and hopefully you feel energized to continue with our distance learning plan. Um, so, what I have done in the past few days is kind of make a long term plan for the following weeks. As you know, our federal and local authorities have extended the social distancing um, mandate until the end of May. That's going to mean that we're not returning to school in the next 6 weeks. Um, so essentially, what I did is to broke down what needs to be done with the create task submission, as well as with the last unit in CS50AP in the next 5 weeks. Okay, I'm just leaving one additional week at the end of May just to see how things evolve um, from now until then. So for this week, what we have is the deadline for the create task. So hopefully everybody completed the project over the Easter break. So I know some of you had already finished. Um, when we met before the break, some of you were still working on it, but I'm confident that all of you at this point have finished with the implementation, and all we need to do this week is to concentrate and focus on recording the video, um, annotating your code in creating a PDF out of it, as well as composing the responses, the written responses for prompts 2A, 2B, 2C, and 2D. Um, so I kind of created a timeline for this week to help you stay organized on what needs to be done. By no means you need to follow this advice, but for those of you who require a little bit more of guidance, um, then hopefully you will find this suggestion useful to organize your time. Um, so what needs to be done today is I would suggest that you complete 2A and 2B using your notes, the notes that you entered in your Create Task Organizer. Um, you, you should complete 2A and 2B without any problem because it's just the project description as well as some of the difficulties um, that you encounter during the implementation of your project. So the best advice that I can give you is to refer to your notes in the Create Organizer and work only on two of the prompts at a time. Don't try to complete everything in one single day. Then my suggestion for tomorrow is to work on your video. Remember that we want a video of your program running. Um, my advice again is that you include an audio narration along with the video. I think the rubric marks it as optional, but we want to make sure that we cover all the bases. So um, my suggestion again is not only demonstrate the program running, but also narrate what's going on as you run your program. And the other thing to do, I suggest tomorrow, is once you complete the video recording, um, is that you download and annotate the PDF of your code with those ovals and rectangles that you have to have over your algorithms and abstraction. Then on Wednesday, the suggestion is to work on the remaining two prompts, that is 2C and 2D. Um, being extra careful of describing your algorithm and abstraction according to the notes that you entered in your organizer. And don't forget to include the screenshots, okay? It is extremely important that you include some screenshots along with your responses. Then on Thursday, which is the actual submission deadline, I want you with a fresh mind to review all your submission materials again, to check your responses against the scoring guidelines or the rubric. And finally, you're going to submit your video, written response, and program code files. I'm not still sure what the mechanism is going to be, but I will add it to the instructions in Unified Classroom. Um, One word of advice for the file names. In past years, I have had trouble, or students have had trouble um, uploading files to the digital portfolio. Um, when they have long file names, or when they have spaces or even capital letters in the file names. So as you create your submission materials, make sure that your file names are create.mov or MP4 for your video, create.pdf for your program code, and responses.pdf for your written responses, okay? Um, Use lowercase, no spaces, keep the names of the files really short. And again, that will prevent any issues that we may encounter when doing the final upload to the digital portfolio. So this first submission that you're going to do on Thursday, is going to be to either Google Drive or Dropbox. I will send you the instructions or included in Unified Classroom, as I mentioned before, because I want to make sure that you have all the pieces and that your video is clear and visible, and that your program code contains the rectangles and oval annotations, as well as your responses actually have all the elements that they should contain. And once I have reviewed your submissions on the following week, that is next week, I will schedule individual meetings with you um, to do the upload to the digital portfolio together. Okay, I think that by doing this together via Google Meet, I can monitor any issues that you may encounter, and essentially support you during the process and make sure that everybody has all the pieces submitted and marked as final in the digital portfolio. Then, beginning on the first week of May, we're going to resume working on the CS50AP curriculum. As I mentioned before, we're missing Unit A. There's a problem that is always a lot of fun to work with, that is called finance. And it is a longer problem, and I normally break it down into three parts. I normally do this when we're having, face-to-face classes regularly. So I see no problem in just continue this structure of breaking it down into three parts as we continue on distance learning. So that's it for today. I'm going to meet you on Thursday during our protected time. If you have any questions, about the timeline and the different parts that you need to complete by Thursday, make sure to log on to our Google Meet during the protected time, and I can clarify any final questions that you may have then. All right. See you soon then, and stay safe. Bye bye.